In the books of Bombay Traders, Nagpur branch account, date, particulars, amount, date, particulars, amount. Okay. We will also have to prepare the debtors account. This is more like a working note actually. Working note in the sense to find that missing figure or to see if there's any figure that is missing. So we have the debtors account, debtors account. Okay. That's just like we don't have to put that date particulars. You can just prepare that account. Now we'll see first what we have. Now there are no opening balances, just closing balances. Sorry, it's just the transactions and the closing balances because it's a new branch. So the first thing is goods sent to branch. The year is 1st January 2007. So we'll put this on the last date. So 31st December 2007, two goods sent to branch account. Two goods sent to branch account, and that is 37,500. Okay. Then we have cash sales at the branch. Now we know that whatever money the branch receives, any cash that the branch receives, the branch sends it to the head office. So on the other side, I will show it as 31st December 2007 by bank. I prefer to do it by bank. In bracket, just to identify what it is, I will put it as cash sales, 25,000. Why I'm doing this? Because of the statement. Whatever cash the branch receives, it's sent. In most problems, what just for you to remember, even if sometimes the statement is not mentioned, okay, in the next few problems, you see, we send the money to the head office, even if the statement is not mentioned. Okay. Now, if some students don't send it because the statement is not mentioned, that is also fine. But it would be preferable to send the cash to the head office. Whatever cash is received by the branch, it would be preferable to send it to the head office. Okay, we'll see how to analyze it in the problems to come. Okay. Credit sales at the branch. Now I told you credit sales don't come here because it has got nothing to do with the head office. But credit sales come in the debtors account. Okay. Remember, debtors account always show debit balance. Would the credit sales increase the debtors balances? And we would normally have a two balance brought down, but we don't have a balance brought down because it's a new branch. Okay. So which side will credit sales come? On the left or on the right? Will credit sales increase the balance or should it decrease the balance? If it increases, it comes aside. If it decreases, it comes aside. Because debtors account shows a debit balance. So will credit sales come here or will it come here? Yeah, increase the balance. So which side will it come? On the left or on the right? On the left or on the right? Yes, very good. It's going to come on the left. It's going to come on the left. So I will have two credit sales, two credit sales, two credit sales. The credit sales given to me 30,000. Okay. Debtors account shows anything that is connected with the debtors. Salaries of staff paid by head office. This is going to come here. Two, again, I'll assume it's bank. Okay. Salaries and office expenses. Salaries are 7,500 and office expenses are 6,000. Why I'm taking it here? Because both these are paid by the head office. Cash remittance to branch for petty cash. So this is cash that has been sent. I can't say bank now. Okay, I will say to cash. In brackets, I can put petty cash. For petty cash expenses, basically, it is 3,000. Okay. Then we have the closing balance of debtors and the stock at branch. sorry, petty cash, debtors and stock. Now before I go to anything, I will first transfer this closing balance to the debtors account just to see if anything is missing. So I will say buy balance carry down, and the closing balance is 2500. The closing balance is 2500. So if you see, the balance of the account of debtors is not tallying, that means there is some missing figure. Okay, and that missing figure is what? Now you have sold goods worth 30,000 to your debtors on credit. Okay, and you're saying that the debtors closing balance 2,500. What does that mean? That means at the end of the year, the debtors owe you only 2,500. That means in between they have paid you something. It's as simple as that. You, during the year, you sold goods worth 30,000 to the debtors. Closing balance of debtors towards the end of the year showing 2,500. That means, how did it come down to 2,500 when you sold goods worth 30,000 on credit? That means, in between, the debtors have paid you something. In between, the debtors have paid you something. So, I will show it as by cash. By cash or by bank. Anything, that's up to you, by cash or by bank. And so the balancing figure, I think, will be 27,500. This is going to be the balancing. So basically a figure was missing. A figure was missing. This is the cash that has been received from the debtors. This is the cash that has been received from the debtors. Okay, so this total is 30,000. 30,000, which is the debtors account. Now, since the debtors have paid 27,500, this has to also go to the head office. So, again, I'm going to say by bank receipt from debtors, or cash received from debtors, which is 27,500. I hope everyone has understood the logic here. How can I come to a conclusion that debtors have paid by cash or have paid us cash? Okay, and you have sold goods worth 30,000 to them. Okay, and you're saying that the balance carried down is 2,500. That means in between the year they have paid you something. If they had not paid you anything, balance carried down would have been 30,000 itself. But because they have paid you something, that means that's why the balance carried down is less. So we have found out what the debtors have actually paid. We have found out what the debtors have actually paid. Okay, and then we show the closing balances by leave a line in case there's a profit or a loss, by balance carried down. So we have petty cash, which is 250. Then there is debtors, which is 2,500, and then there is stock, which is 13,500. Which is 13,500. Okay. So if we finish this, just to tally it, I think the credit is higher than the debit, and that comes to 68,750. 68,750. So the profit and loss will be 2 profit and loss account, which is the balancing figure here. 68,750 minus all those expenses, 37,500 minus 7,500 minus 6,000 and 3,000 will be 14,750. Yeah, thank you. 14,750. Okay, so this debtors is more like a working note. Okay, I'll just put it as a working note here. So here, if you're wondering how I got it, it's a working note. Okay, now these are the types of problems we will get where certain items like this are missing and you will have to figure out what is missing. Okay, so sometimes in certain cases, cash sales, this may be missing, the cash receipt. Sometimes the closing balance itself is not given to us. So again, we'll have to prepare the debtors account. Sometimes you may have to prepare the stock account. Okay, so as we do the problems, you will kind of get a hang of it. Uh, you'll have a more difficult problem than this, Rupa. This is too simple. How to identify? Yeah, that's where we will be discussing a lot of problems, and that's how you come to know. Okay, that's how you come to know. So certain things will there are certain things like certain hints that I will give you. In case of debtors, either the closing balance will be missing or either the amount that has been received. So if these two amounts are not given in the problem, that means you know you have to prepare the debtors account. Similarly, sometimes for cash, now petty cash balance is given, sometimes the closing balance may not be given, we'll have to prepare the cash account. Okay, as we do the problems you will get a hang of it. Fine. Any questions? Anyone has any questions?